Jo, damit hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Call of Cthulhu. Dann wollen wir noch mal gucken, ob wir jetzt endlich mal hier in dieses Lagerhaus rein können. Versteckte Gegenstände finden. Okay.
A handle. It must come from these old winches. This tunnel goes under the warehouses.
Mit dem Tunnel kann ich also unter das Lager.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Aber erstmal gucke ich, ob ich hier nicht noch mehr Sachen finde.
An old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
Ich glaube, das war alles, was ich brauche.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle.
Alles klar. Nicht hier so da lang oder so. Ja, können wir nicht. Also gehen wir jetzt ab da runter.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
This is primitive.
Also wir sehen hier unten ein paar schlecht gezeichnete Pimmel. Da ist ein großer Mann mit Propellerhut. Da noch ein Mann mit Propellerhut. Es sind viele Leute mit Propellerhüten. Scheint wohl damals in gewesen zu sein. Okay.
Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Mal gucken, ob wir vielleicht sowas finden.
Let's see. The door is blocked on the other side.
Ah, jetzt kann ich. Alles klar.
What happened here? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? It smells as bad as it looks. Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Der Fall ist alles andere als abgeschlossen. Es interessiert mich sich noch jemand für die Hawkins. Wir sollten zusammenarbeiten.
It's clear that you knew the victims. I'm sorry to dig up bad memories.
I can still see the poor child lying burned on the floor of their drawing room. We had to tear him off. The marks must still be there. They're in my mind anyway.
It's horrendous. I'm going to need your experience to bring him justice, Officer Bradley. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Also, wir haben eine durchgeknallte Olle, die Leute erpresst und ihnen Angst macht. Gemälde, das sich irgendwie selbstständig gemacht hat und weggegangen ist vom Tatort. Was weiß ich warum? Ein Bild von den beiden direkt am Lagerhaus. Relativ frische Gedärme da rumliegen. Irgendjemand, der richtig Kohle hat, war da. Weil man sich Schmerzmittel zu der Zeit nicht, also nicht jeder konnte sich zu der Zeit Schmerzmittel leisten, sagen wir es mal so.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Die Villa sei in Flammen aufgegangen.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Schon von Winchester
Your
gesagt.
partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not?
Okay.
You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Okay, wenn wir da lang müssen, will ich aber erstmal hier lang. Okay, hier gibt es anscheinend gar nichts. So, ich wollte gerade sagen, warum gehen wir nicht da lang? Alles klar.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined.
1493, okay.
Poor kid. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of...
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh.
Das wäre der Vordereingang. Aber so wie es aussieht, ist der sowieso versperrt.
This entrance is still in use. Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin.
Yeah, that's it. Vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion. This gate is locked.
Okay, was verschlossen. Ich nehme mal an, dass das seine Hütte ist. Deswegen auch die Axt hier.
The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes.
Ist da drin irgendetwas, was man vielleicht noch...
Bourbon. Empty, of course.
Hätte ich fast übersehen. Ich meine, er hätte so gesehen auch sein können. Gut. Aber bevor wir da reingehen, gibt es noch eine Sache. Das war's für heute. Ich hoffe mal, es hat euch gefallen. Wenn ja, würde ich mich über einen Daumen nach oben freuen. Wenn ihr noch nicht abonniert habt, dann tut das. Und wenn ihr Bock drauf habt, ja, dann sieht man sich beim nächsten Mal wieder, ne? Haut rein.